That is the question of the evening, if you ask me.
Les questions. Bonsoir.
Hi guys, welcome again. This is HYREL 3D. Thank you very much again for joining us here again tonight. Les Music and everybody else. Can't really see everybody as of right now, but that's all right. Still learning how to use Ustream, and so far Ustream has been actually very good to us. So if anyone has any questions, or if you guys have any issues with Ustream, please let me know via email, and we'll do whatever we can to fix it, or I will do whatever I can do to fix it. So, but thank you again for joining us here again tonight. We postponed for a couple of reasons. For you guys, if you can hear me and you can understand me, that's definitely a step in the right direction. So I'm starting to get my voice back, and that's a very good thing. So otherwise, I sounded like we actually had a visitor this week.
We did.
And
I'll say
Kickstarter.
Thank you for coming by, because it was nice to have Mateo come by. He's a very, very intelligent person, and he was very kind all along and very supportive. And we've just been really blessed. There's been quite a few people that have been really, really good all along, and we appreciate that.
Yeah, so Mateo, I know you're going to be watching this afterwards, so thank you very much for coming by.
And I'll be sending you York's information here tomorrow. I told York about you last night, so he'll be looking to hook up with you soon in Skype.
Excellent.
So, also, Les, I know you're out there. I saw that your name's on there, so I want to say hi. I guess this is the hard way to meet. So, I tried to talk to you last night, but you weren't online, or you were doing something else. It was the yellow, and then I went to bed. This 3-hour time change things is for the birds. Anyway,
Yeah.
so I feel like we're still moving along here. We actually got a test installation for 2 of the 3 pieces of software last week with Les, which Les already knows since he's the one we did it with. But it went fairly smooth, and I was relatively pleased with that. It's just a little hiccup on it. But the installation was able to be done with just a USB cable, and I was very pleased with that. The next and final step will be to hot hit software, reorient it, and then try uploading it, which I tried doing yesterday just with the bootloader and the day before. We had a few issues. Let's call it revision control at the moment. But it's not our revision, it's a Kukoc revision. So it turns out that a nuance, undocumented software feature, let's put it that way.
That's a good way of putting it.
Yeah. Bright side of the story is we've gotten a lot of stuff in this week. We got the new finished machined extrusions for the y-axis arms, and they look great. And so these were they only made one mistake. They put the hole all the way through. Otherwise, they're perfect. You'll never see it. It's okay because only 5 pieces were made this way. The 200 in this batch are already been finished, standardized, and on their way to us. We received a dozen more System 30M chassis and 50 more spines and y-axis arms for the next generation, which is, it looks similar. It's just it's a sheet metal design made out of stainless steel, some of it's cold rolled steel, but it's strong, and that's one of the things we wanted, and it's scalable. It's very tough to scale a part that is machined when it's labor intensive, whereas the sheet metal technology today is quite nice to work with in that they're doing work on a laser and our entire prints in about 45 seconds in most cases. So that's something where they can scale and do 100 or 200 or 500 or 1,000 without much trouble. And the amazing thing to me is the kind of tolerances they're able to hold. I can't believe they cut as fast as they do, holding the actual specific. I mean, we have one part that's made now out of sheet metal that has a bearing that goes in it. So it's a bearing, and the bearing just with your thumbs and fingers presses right in. The paint has grown just enough so you just a little force and it goes in. I'm sure they're holding 1/10,000th of an inch with this laser, and that's very, very impressive. So kudos to them. We have a little bit to learn about packaging so stuff doesn't get scratched, but that's what we're going through. Hopefully on the next big shipment, everything will, I talked to them last night, I think it will be wrapped more robustly. So, the electronics are going along. We have a dozen System 30 sitting here ready for test. So, it's okay. And I guess we have a small group here, but we'll probably do another broadcast at the end of the weekend here coming up, getting ready for the big 4th of July celebration. Oh, that was something. We still haven't passed that final inspection, but we're thinking over the 4th of July we will be doing our move. So you can wish us the happy fireworks. You can be sure we'll be just working like dogs. But Doroteo's from Mexico, and it's not Cinco de Mayo, so I'm pretty sure I can get him to work for us.
Very true. Very true.
And that's the big part. We're still plodding away with software, and hardware's looking pretty sharp. And the laser's working. We're actually, a couple of people have stepped up to the plate and are really doing a fine job, and I appreciate that. I think, Ryan, if you ever watch this broadcast, we're mentioning you.
Yes.
He's a college graduate who is in between masters and bachelors, or bachelors and masters, and he's getting a little experience with us. I think he's getting a lot of experience with us, and I'm sure he thinks some days it's not good experience, but trust me, it's great experience. And anyway, Ryan, you've impressed us in that you are stepping up in ways that we did not expect. So you keep it up, and we'll keep cheering for you. So good job. And I'm trying to think if there's anything else that's noteworthy at the moment.
Well, not really at this point. Most of the stuff that we've been doing this entire week has been building up more sub-assemblies and getting things hardware-wise, getting ready to, more faster and better to getting them ready to ship. Is pretty much, the name of the game so far.
We have a large volume of stuff that I'm holding. Probably hold it a couple more days. I guess there is one other little thing I can tell you guys. We've been playing with the volcano this week.
Oh, yes, yes.
And
No.
well, we're back.
Gotta love that. Hold on a second, guys. Wow. You gotta love technical difficulties, especially with something that does not work very well. So there you go. Ah!
There it is. It just
All
came
right.
through over there.
Hopefully, guys, hopefully you can still hear us. Let us know if you can't.
So for anyone who's listening in on the volcano, I actually ran it to 150 degrees C 2 nights ago, and no problems with it. So I don't know how the aluminum will hold up long term. Probably we're low enough temperature, 150 C is still viable. Click the little person icon above the chat send button to show
Okay,
the
yeah.
list of users.
Oh, nice, nice. Okay, there we are. So Jay Lee and David Geipo's here. So
Nice, David.
and got 4 guests.
David.
Oh, there you are.
David Geipa. There's a
Yeah.
name I don't remember. Okay, so David, what's
Cool.
the deal
Thank you,
with
Les.
the do not disturb sign the other night? We were trying to contact you because I
Yeah.
had questions about your screen. So I
Mhm.
hope you're doing well, and that's not like a don't call me kind of thing. And I'm pretty sure it's not. Because I'd like to ask you a couple questions about how to replace your screen. For those of you who know, the screens were the biggest fiasco of the century. The touch panels were. The screens are great. And so we're replacing, or in the process of replacing, a couple of the 14 screens that had touch panelitis. And so I can't read that. I don't think even Superman can read that.
What?
The writing on the... Oh, I'm looking at the wrong thing.
Yeah, you're right.
Ah, okay. Well, whatever you were doing with that sign on there, I hope it was more fun than us, talking to us. I don't think it's possible. But anyway. So maybe, I don't know, tonight we're going to be late, but maybe tomorrow or Friday night you could talk to us and we could get that package off to you.
Yep.
One of the things we have done this week is actually ship some of the parts we owed people.
Yep.
We're trying to... Aldea has come on board. She's got everything organized now, and now we have a list that makes sense of... we're supposed to send stuff to this. I know I owe stuff to Ken Rosinski. I owe stuff to David Geipa, for sure. David Parks. So there's a couple people out there that we owe. Mostly David's now that I think about it. But we owe some knickknacks things to. And so we'll be on the job on that one. There's another thing.
Yeoman.
Yeah. Oh, Yeoman. Yeah. And so, Yeoman, I'm going to tell people about what your printer screws and try to relate that. I owe Yeoman some screws, too.
Yep. And a fuse.
Yeah. And so...
Hi, Nerd Rocks. Thank you very much for joining us.
Voila.
Yeah.
So, underneath the bed, we found a couple of printers so far where the screws were put in with flat washers. They're the ones that go into the bearing truck. If you tighten those, the washers pan like this, and then the screws bottom out before the screw can grab the truck. And this allows your bed to wiggle a little bit. So if you come across that, do not hesitate to contact us. We are more than happy to shoot you out some M3x8s instead of M3x10s, some extra washers, whatever we need to make that right for you. We're embarrassed that got out the door. I think it only happened to a few printers, but it, as I think Yeoman will back up on this one, I'm not putting words in his mouth, it makes a difference to have the right size screw, because his bed was literally swimming. I think on an earlier broadcast he was talking about that, and that is not the way it was designed. It was supposed to be firm, and so that fixed most of that problem. I think it fixed all the problem, actually.
Yeah.
So, just a side note there, little detail.
Yeah, but we're gonna, we'll make it right.
Of course,
We
of course,
always do.
of course.
Yeah.
A lot better. Great,
So.
great. I'm glad to hear that. So, everyone is in, looking over our shoulders, dying for the firmware. One thing that I told Yeoman last night that I guess I thought I had said, but people don't realize it. there are stall sensors on every motor, and so one of the problems we've been seeing now is sometimes we're losing position. Part of it we're not sure of, but I'm 99% sure that some of it's code that does a little jog where it's trying to wick off the ABS or the plastic. Anyway, make a long story medium. These sensors have been planned all along. And so what happens is as the motor rotates, it triggers a sensor, and that's supposed to happen in N pulses per revolution. Every N pulses we should see the trigger, and it should be within plus or minus a couple of pulses, which in reality is plus or minus 10 microns or so. So what I've done is I've experimented with the watchdog that sits on there and watches the sensors trigger, even when they're running at full flight, and they can detect when we lose our position. The recovery for it's still something I'm working on. This first big release that we're doing does not have that enabled, but is absolutely on the next release after this will have it enabled. So you could bump into the bed or hit, and it will at least stop and let you figure out what to do. And I'm working on a couple of recovery algorithms or code that you can run when there's something going on like that. It will also keep track of automatic retries and let you know, oh, I had to retry 7 times to get back in position and move forward. So there are some really good things coming down the pikes here that are in my control. I like that. So just letting you guys know, this is not a dragon we'll have to worry about forever. We're going to slay this buggy. So,
okay, let's see. Oh yeah, that jitter jump, yeah, that does wonders for the positioning. Thanks, David Gaipa. Yeah. And JMC Balance says, how about a list of the printers that will ship next?
And what's the story with that? We have 20 printers on the list. Aldea has it. We haven't posted it.
No, we have not.
Jim, we're happy to share that list with you. I don't know that we can put it on the website easily, but if you want to email, I will forward that into Aldea, who does all of the...
She is the gatekeeper.
Well, she doesn't determine which printer goes next. What she does is she's a scorekeeper. Look, in case anybody wants to know who to yell at, this is the guy in the purple shirt. When it goes is when we think that it's going to do something for you. Not because we're embarrassed. We obviously embarrass sometimes. So I don't want you yelling at anybody else but me. You have my email. If you don't, it's Carl with a K, Karl 690 @gmail.com, and I respond to those URLs. I check it 6 times a day. So you know, I wish I could tell everybody, yep, it's all done. It isn't. It's coming. So sorry, Nerd Rocks. But I'm glad you know what? We're here. We haven't gone away. We haven't run away. And what you guys are ending up with is still even yet more correct, more better, more stronger. So I can give you the list, or I can ask Aldea to share it with you. We have 20 printers, only 20 that are in the immediate short list. And the reason for that is we have ordered way over all printers, and they're in transit. Parts have been coming in. We got a shipment today, shipment yesterday. I believe by the end of next week, all the major components will have been shipped to us. And then we're not sure whether that's going to be 5 to 12 more days before receiving. And that's everything. That is all Kickstarters and all open orders. So everybody will be filled. And don't think we're taking vacations. Hutch ain't. I am. No, I'm kidding. So we're dedicated. We're taking this thing to the finish line and keeping going from there. So,
yeah.
So, I you know what I'll do? I know who you are, Nerd Rocks, and I don't know JMC Ballin. I apologize for that.
I know.
But I'm going to write this down.
I know you.
Right now, and tomorrow I will get your email from Aldea. I won't even make you chase us. But first I have to do what I don't often do, and that's find a pen.
I got it.
So, the good thing is she's really reliable. That's an important thing.
Yes.
Okay, JMC and Nerd Rocks.
Yep. Yep.
Refresh me on Nerd Rocks. Where's he at?
He is in New Jersey.
Is he the one by the bridge?
Yep.
Oh, man. I hear you. You know, of all the people in the world that deserve to have his printer, he's one of them, because
I
he
know.
changed the entire design in some ways. He's the one who got us to move the material away from the top of the build platform.
He made it better.
So we haven't forgotten you. Okay. I'm trying to think what I want to do about that.
Rico MD, have you guys played around with HIPS or any other non-ABS PLA support material?
Yes.
Yes, we have. I remember the last time I bugged you guys a long time ago, it was in the plants.
I printed with HIPS and some PVA. The secret with HIPS is to go with a larger nozzle diameter. If you do that, it actually prints pretty well. If you try to force it through a small 0.5 millimeter, what happens is that the heat flows back up and it turns to chewing gum, and then it just folds back in on itself. If you go with a larger orifice, your backflow isn't that, back pressure is not that high, and it turns out that it prints quite well. As within limits, you know, when you look at it, it looks like you're printing some kind of a twine, is what you feel like. But,
Yeah.
But it does print. I mean, it's not your dream material, let's put it that way. The texture, the versatility, the repeatabilities. Actually, with a larger orifice, it goes okay.
Fine, yeah.
But use it for a fill material. Use it for a support material where it's larger. That works. That works okay. If you're trying to do fine details with it, like you want to make an ant's whisker, for instance, that you could dissolve off, good luck with that. I'm not signing up for that rodeo.
Yeah. By the Bridgegate Bridge from David Gaipa. No.
No, he's by the George Washington Bridge.
Yeah. And you know, what about Ninja Flex or similar? We do have Ninja Flex. We've tried the rubber from Plastink, which we showed you guys live on. I think it was like the 40th or 50th.
Yeah, that prints pretty
broadcast.
good.
Yeah.
That prints pretty good.
The Ninja Flex does print. There's a little bit of issue when it comes to flow, specifically with the Ninja Flex, but it does print, meaning we haven't fully dialed it in just as of yet, but because it is a little bit different from ABS. It's close, but there are a couple of issues with that. It's not just a software issue. In this case, it's more of a hardware issue in the fact that as I've told you, a couple of you guys on the when it comes to the training classes that we do, some of the material requires a little bit more compression for it to actually go through. So we have that set up so you can actually tighten the couple of screws which tighten the compression spring in order for you to start printing with that. And when we started doing that, it started printing a lot better, and you start getting the flow that we were looking for. So there's small little tweaks like that will have to be done with the material that you guys are going to be doing, but just want to let you guys know again, or for those people who have not gone through the training classes yet, that that is an issue with some of the newer materials. So you have to either put a little more compression or a little less compression, and then you're going to be just fine. Rico MD, let's see, what's the word on the 3mm filament heads? I just ordered 8 pounds of 3mm for my other printers and would really love the coming HYREL to use it.
And we have 3mm heads for testing. They're completely machined up. However, our initial test with it, we don't like the material very much. The head will print fine, but the problem that we're having is that the material we particularly have, the 3mm, is the end of a spool, and it's like a pig's tail, and it's horrible from a material handling standpoint.
Show them, don't tell them. Well, let me go grab the.
Yeah.
Let me show them what we're talking about.
I mean, it is a real sharp, curly, stiff piece of ABS. Maybe we should preheat it or something. Maybe something like that will make it relax a little bit.
There it is.
But here you can see it sticking out, and you see this curve in it, and it's just fighting it the whole way. And this is after we've been fighting it already.
Yeah.
So
you guys can see that even with the material, you start flexing it a little bit, you'll see that like right down here it's starting to flex and starting to deform a little bit. So it's a little bit tougher of a material. So, but yes, we do have a 3mm head.
we actually have some other materials and the reason why we're focusing on 3mm is not for ABS. The reason why I built a 3mm is because I have available to us polypropylene, PVDF, and some other exotic plastics but they only come in straight lengths that are 1/8 inch diameter. And so we are working with this so that we can work with that type of material, and look forward to showing you the results of that. The 3mm for ABS, I guess you have a reason for buying it. Probably your printer started with that kind of a delivery system, and if it works for you, I think that's great. But our experience with ABS at 3mm versus 1.75, the handling of the 1.75 is 10 times easier than it is with the 3mm, meaning delivering the material. And one of the problems you have is if you're delivering the material and it gets jammed up, you have to pull it because it's a little bit stiff on the curve, then that tends to make your prints less consistent in the flow. At least that's been our experience. And so I would greatly encourage, for ABS and PLA probably, although I can't speak as well to the PLA issue, the 1.75 is much easier for us to print with. So, however,
great question, Rico.
We don't have any source of polypropylene in 1.75, but we do have sources of polypropylene in the 3mm range, and that's what this was designed for. In case you guys don't know it, there is a delivery path in here that goes right through this printer, and in that delivery path we have very, very easy to change. There's a couple of components in here, and then it becomes a 3mm. So that's what the design was.
He says Prusa MM1.5 Illuminatus are all 3mm systems. So,
and he's done a good job from everything I've heard. I don't know anything. I mean,
but they're all different companies.
Oh, are they?
So Prusa obviously is because of Josef Prusa.
Sorry.
So, and that's his own thing. And then
My bad.
MM and then Illuminatus are all other types of 3D printers that are out there. So, but Prusa has his named after himself. So,
of course.
Yeah.
And that's appropriate.
Absolutely. So, you have them all. And soon to have ours as well. So,
yeah.
So, yes, the Mendel Max, 1.5. So,
yeah.
So
you probably have more printing experience than anybody else on the planet, almost. But I know someone's got more printers than that, just in case you're wondering. And he's watching this broadcast. I'm not going to say his initials are, but his initials are Thomas Edison.
Yep.
Close enough.
That's close enough, yes.
So, you know who it is.
I know.
We all know who it is.
I'm not going to out the person, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey,
So-
it's tough when you're so bright that you can run everything on the planet. Some of us can only handle one or two different types, but he's got them all.
That's true.
Anyway.
So, but
Where's this guy located? Rico MD.
I would think that based upon his MD in his name, that's probably from Maryland. But I could be completely wrong.
Where are you at? Where are you at, Rico?
So, you remember, this is, and for anybody who's out there, you better start asking your questions, because typically there is there's a 20-second difference between, roughly 20-second difference between what we say and what's put up on the screen. So, oh, he's in Minnesota, okay.
Oh.
Yep, many thousands of dollars later, yep. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. All right. Rico, I know exactly who you are. Okay. You don't have to out yourself like that, but that's fine. That's fine. He's one of our original Kickstarters.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Out in Minnesota. So, and he is extremely intelligent.
If you get some spare time one evening, feel free to Skype in with me. I would love to just hear what your experiences have been. So, this is the first time I've seen your name up here that I can remember. So, I think it's great you're talking with us, and we appreciate it. I'd like to show you some stuff that I can't show on the broadcast, and just because he won't let me, and just get your opinion on it.
Absolutely.
Your valued opinion. How does that sound?
Especially when it comes to the 3mm stuff. So, yeah.
Sorry, you have to install Skype anyway.
Yeah.
So, if you want to do your team viewer training session with us.
No, he already has it.
Oh, if you want us to ship your printer and us to be able to help you, you got to put Skype in. Oh, it looks to me like you know everything to ever be known.
When it comes to that kind of stuff, oh yeah.
Okay.
So he's like that version of Steve. So
got it.
yeah.
Well, that puts you in a category all by yourself.
Yep. Yes, he did.
Already did.
So, yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, I got
Yeah.
the training.
Yeah.
He corrected me. Again, you understand, they just keep me in the closet and feed me little tiny pills and tell me to get back to work. I don't see anybody normally. That's why I come to the broadcast, because it's my chance to get out of the closet.
You and me both. Separate closet, though. Separate closet.
We're engineers. We don't worry about that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
No, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes we're janitors. Most of the time.
Yeah.
We're cleaning up the mess. Sorry, guys.
Someone's got to sweep the floors.
As you can tell,
That's
we're
right.
having a good week, but it's been a robust work schedule. That's a good way to put it.
Very much so.
So,
Yeah.
cool. I was thinking...
Yeah.
I can't show you guys this tonight, but on the next broadcast, I will show you guys what a volcano looks like printing.
Ah, okay. Yeah.
And that might be interesting to a few of you guys, the people that are interested in possibly doing a little wax action. And the medical community in particular has some applications for slightly elevated, i.e. in the 100 degrees C plus or minus range, dispensing of certain biologically compatible materials to be used for scaffolding, which is becoming the rage, where they just lay down a grid matrix and then they throw the cells on. The cells think they're on a jungle gym. They start growing. They grow in the shape of the scaffolding, and voila, you have a new body part. So.
Yep. So. Oh, hey, Rob, how you doing? Thank you for joining us. We have how many? I have to ask this question because depending upon how long it's going to take to get the rest of everything signed off with the city and everything else. Do you have a spare breaker here that we could possibly run a line from? Because I was thinking about certain particular materials that we can print with the volcano that can be used afterwards or post-processed afterwards.
You saying you need the kiln?
Yes.
Oh, I don't need a breaker for that.
Okay.
I got places for it.
Okay. All right.
Is it 220 or 110?
I think it's 110 if I'm not mistaken.
Nah, no problem. Any of the
Okay.
plugs in the machine shop will handle it.
Okay, because I think it's 15.
Trust me, it's no problem.
Okay, 15 amps. All right. So, yeah. All right. Rob asks, can you relate any experience from current customers? Anyone over 1,000 hours of print time? That is a great question, Rob. And we have a couple of guys on here tonight.
I think there are a few.
Yeah. So, I know for a fact,
I don't know. Les, you've got one of the first systems. How many hours do you think you have actually printing?
I say quite a bit. I'd say.
Well, I don't want to put words in his mouth. That's the great thing about this forum. He can say whatever he thinks is appropriate.
I would also say probably Mr. Geipra, maybe.
I don't know. I'm out of touch with David. I wish I was more in touch with him, but I'm out of touch. I don't know that he didn't put this under his bed and hope that it goes away while he's sleeping. Probably he's been using it, but I can't say. He has a lot of printers, guys. I mean,
that's true.
He has one for every day of the week.
There's also Yeoman as well. So.
Yeah, and he's done a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I know we have printers here that have achieved 1,000 hours.
Oh yeah.
You know.
Oh yeah. The one that's in the other room right now, it has definitely gone over that much.
I think, yeah. The normal training computer.
Let's see. Yeoman says, you should, but a timer that would count the hours printed by that printer, like mileage in a car. That's actually, that's not a bad idea.
Yeah, that's one of the software features that is actually implemented in the heads, but not implemented where we can see it. And it's also one of the features that will probably get nuked in the next level because it caused way more problems than it solved.
Okay.
We were thinking warranty, we could keep track of what temperature and stuff it was being used at, and we could be a watchdog and tell if you guys went too hot. But it was easier to just limit the temperature of the software and the firmware.
Well, no, well, there's that's funny, but there's also the other fact of if it did actually fail, we would be able to determine and why.
Look at Guype. He says it's too big to go under the bed, so the print but's what goes under the bed. That's cute. So Les
Let's
says
see.
he's about 500
500
hours, maybe as high as 750, somewhere between the two of them. That'll give you an idea.
Yeah.
He is probably one of our most prolific printers. So, you know, if you're looking for any feedback or information, that's more interesting, I think. That's more accurate is a better word.
I agree.
And we did pay him $50 before the broadcast to say nice things to us.
Let's see. David Gaipa has been slow since I had to go to laptop control, and I'm down to laptop now. Okay.
Well, that's why we were calling you. So, we're trying to call you.
So we'll get together after this, and maybe.
That'd be fine.
If we're still awake.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it won't be too late.
So those are great questions.
All right. So Rob Halverson asks, does anyone have over 1,000 hours? Rob, what's your thinking here? Are you wondering if this is holding up, or are you thinking that people aren't using the printer? That's a possibility. I think they're holding up. We have some issues, but yeah, I mean we're getting some field time out there. So the people that took the earliest printers obviously are paying some kind of a price, being the earliest adopters.
Yeah.
Meaning that we're learning things like what screws we shouldn't have used and things like that. But
Yeah. Some of our Some of our assembly skills are not as tuned up.
So we got some new staff. The new guys are working out quite well.
And David Gaipa says the Form 1 may go out the window while the printer bot is under the bed and HYREL is on the cart. Thank you, David.
It'll be interesting to see what the next stuff that we're working on, how that comes down. But you get the firmware out, and then I expect people to print an awful lot more with the next level of firmware since it's less frustrating.
Oh, I agree.
Well, let's see what it says.
Okay. Rob says, since it's a new system, I'm curious if the shot off 1,000 hours with a few hiccups unrealistic, or just a few typical. Okay.
Other than the firmware glitch, the actual mechanical part I think is holding up pretty good. If it didn't, it was from an assembly error more than a design error.
Yep.
And we have learned from the design and made a few changes. The printers that are now shipping have had some enhancements to them. And so, and if at some point in time any of the original backers, Kickstarters, say, hey, we like what you've done, what does it take to get mine done? Just whatever the actual cost of the parts is, and we'll give them to you. We don't want to penalize anyone for being early backers. And some of you have actually donated time to us, and we'll call it Christmas. We'll pay you back with parts for sure. So you should never drink while texting while driving. Well, 2 out of 3 is all that's acceptable.
Yes.
So
yep. If you park, you don't drink. Accidents cause people. That's right. So
okay.
David Gaipa, I'm trying some back of the napkin calculations, and I think I could be between 350 to 400 hours. I stopped early, so it messes up my count. Okay. And Yeoman asks, do you still have issues with the ups and
UPS?
With the UPS with overall with packet?
I think that the systems are getting there in a lot better shape now.
Yes.
We've had a lot less complaints. The 2x4s helped, and the extra foam packing and the super heavy duty carton all came into play. But the engines we're having that foam recut, and I think they're also getting there in good shape.
Yeah.
So
the one customer install I did overseas, that they just destroyed the packaging.
And yet it got there.
Oh, it got there and it was great. I mean, we cut open the shrink wrap and it was pristine.
Wow.
But it's an art. It is definitely an art. So 4 of them were fine, but that last one was beat to hell and back. So it's a wonder when you open it up. And I didn't tell you this from before, but because I don't want you to worry. But one of the pieces of one of the 2x4s that was there looked like it was about to crack in half. So they did a number. I mean, they were basically throwing the darn things around. So
well, I mean, you can expect that.
yeah. So, but it got there and worked great. Plugged it in, and within like 5 minutes, boom. So
The good thing is, on the actual motion controller, I haven't replaced a single board.
that's true.
We have not had
That's true.
one failure in the actual printer electronics. We have been tortured by some second-party touchscreen stuff, but that was on the PC, which I don't worry about too much, even though it's a pain in the ass and it's something we don't want to own up to, but we're stuck with it and we're fixing it.
Mhm.
The part of the electronics that we designed, pretty solid,
Yeah.
and I'm very happy with that.
No magic
It's-
smoke issues. Yeah.
You know, we're still evolving on the PC side. We've got what we think is a great motherboard and a good solution, actually a great solution for the screen
That's
right now.
awesome.
We still have a little bit of a quirk on one of the USB cables that we're still trying to figure out what's going on with that.
Yeah.
But otherwise, it's really solid. And we love the packaging on this new thing. They use an M-SATA drive, and to see something boot in 12 or 15 seconds into Windows 7 is like, really? How did it do that? I mean, it's very fast. We're very pleased with how fast it boots from scratch.
Oh, very much so. Let's see. Oh, it's okay, Rob. Let's see. Les says I haven't particularly been gentle and it's been pretty stable. Thank you. Yes. Rob says can't drink it all day if you stop before. Very nice. Dave Guy UPS United Pachinko Service.
Pachinko service. Oh, I like that.
I convincedly drop packages into a huge pachinko machine. Yeah, that huge pachinko machine is known as Worldport out of Louisville, Kentucky. So if anybody wants to know, it's like FedEx in Memphis and someplace in Ohio for DHL of all places.
I'll never forget my
Wellington.
first trip to Japan, and I was all by myself, and after work I'm walking down the street in Tokyo, and I came by a pachinko parlor. And this is like 1980. And out inside are like 100 guys in little dull gray suits, putting their, dropping it, you know,
Double
it's like,
bearings
and
yeah.
just playing them until they got enough tokens or something, and they go up and get a pack of cigarettes for it. I mean, there are hundreds of guys doing this. So
Oh yeah.
it was like, it wasn't really pinball, it was just feed the quarter and play with it. So there's a memory for me.
Wow.
Also, Winchell's Donut Shop was the only thing that was open at 4 a.m. And of course I had super jet lag flying over from LA. And their donuts in Japan are not donuts. They are some kind of a plasticine knockoff. They were not tasty. They were 83% motor oil.
You probably got one of the red bean donuts.
Oh, I tried a couple of different ones. They all had the same stale, what's the right word, moldy, mildewy flavor. I mean, it was not my idea of a wonderful experience. Hey, that's the reason I stopped eating donuts while I was in Japan. How do you like that?
Well, it's that'll do it. That'll do it to you. They've come a long way since then.
Yeah.
So last time I was in Japan. So they like Spam as well. It's just like the Hawaiians. For some odd reason, my people love Spam. I don't get it. I
Well,
just don't understand it.
it's convenient.
So yes. So yeah. Rob says then they take the cigarettes around the corner in exchange for yen, and always there for recreation. That is
Yeah.
true. The one and only time I went into a pachinko parlor, I remember walking in and a couple of guys who were there who were dressed in very, very nice suits with some shades on, barring me entry. And the reason why is because the guy who was at the very front had not one small little stack of these ball bearings, but he was surrounded by stacks of ball bearings, literally chest high. And there were guys who were just around him, and he was just throwing them into the machine, one after the next after the next. And it was just amazing how much money was going through there. Just absolutely insane.
Or at least how
So-
many balls.
Oh man, I got to refrain myself. This is not going to be a family-friendly cast if I continue to
It's
go
all
like
good.
this. So, David Guy says, someone had me try a moon pie once, not the tasty marshmallow thing either.
I'm not sure I want to hear the rest of it.
No, I don't.
It sounds like an inswell.
you can
hold off there, big
you
guy.
can Oh man. Oh no, real moon pies, if they're done right here in the South, they're very, very tasty.
So one thing that we've been trying to refine in with this firmware release is the multiple heads, not just printing the same thing 2 or 4 times, but ping-ponging so that a head can make part of a print and then come in another part of a print. And I've had a lot of success with that. So I'm really looking forward to showing some prints with 2, 3, 4 head or 2, 3, 4 materials or colors all in the same print. And that'll be a big milestone for us because although it's been possible all along, it's been difficult with some nuances in the firmware. And now it's getting much more reliable and robust. So we'll try and get 1 or 2 of the items up there, either a volcano print or a simple ping pong print where we print with a couple of colors. And I know because of some guys in California, they're looking for three different materials.
Yep.
And that's what spurred me on a little bit here. So I will try very hard to put that out here and demonstrate it effectively on the next broadcast. Now, if we aren't ready for a broadcast this weekend, what do you guys think about a 4th of July broadcast on the July 3rd day? I think July 3rd is a Sunday, if I'm not mistaken.
That's right.
Let's just see.
Okay.
Oh, no. July 3rd is a Thursday. Well, then
is
we
a
could do a
Thursday.
July 5 broadcast.
That's a Saturday.
How's that?
No.
So, something over
We'll
that
see.
weekend.
Mhm.
Something to take our minds off the moving pains we're sure to have if we're moving.
That's true.
Anyway.
Yeah. See, Dave got this as some sort of sweet bean dough, which was fine and tasty. Oh, yeah. If you're not expecting whatever's on the inside filling, that is rather disconcerting. So.
Hawaii, don't you know not to go to Hawaii in summer? All the girls wear these little tiny, I mean, you don't want to go.
No.
Yeah, do you need someone to carry your bags?
Yeah, no kidding. You got 2 guys right here. Be more than happy to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, someone that we were talking to yesterday went to Hawaii yesterday.
Yeah, Warren.
Yeah, Warren, exactly.
Yeah.
So,
So he doesn't work for us. He's a friend.
he works for the military.
Yep.
Doing things we cannot speak of,
That's right.
but it involves controlling large ships from a great distance.
Yes.
He's like UPS. He delivers the big ones.
Yeah.
Good.
Except that it doesn't arrive damaged and destroyed. It arrives to damage and destroy. So.
Well, we're actually going to call it a broadcast in a
Yep.
few moments here because we want to try and get together with David Gaipa, and I've got the 2 people who I'm going to get all day to send the list to. I have JMC Bowen and I have Nerd Rocks.
Yep.
Both of you will see the list, and you got my email. If you have a question, if you want to contact me, you know my Skype. It's carl.gifford56. That's Carl with a K. If I'm not here, it's because I went down to the tennis court to exercise sometimes, but I haven't done that in a couple days, so mostly I'm here, ready at your service.
Yeah. Rob asks, where on the interwebs do you have the most current news and updates? Honestly, these are the most current news and updates, obviously, right now, but I'm trying to get a little bit better at Facebook, trying to get a little bit better at Twitter, understand what these hashtags are all about and that kind of stuff. But as of right now, we have that, and whenever we post a new video, some of the new videos that we're going to be putting out there are via our YouTube channel, and that YouTube channel, you just search for HYREL 3D, and you'll find the right ones. So,
that's fine. I saw that Les is asking about if we can hook up for tomorrow afternoon.
Yep.
So directly to Les, in front of all these people. I have an appointment from 6:30 to 9 p.m. tomorrow. I will shoot you an email before I leave for that appointment to confirm if I'm ready for you. If I am, would 6 p.m. your time be okay? 6:15, something like that? Or is that too late for you? So you can shoot me back an email, or you can answer in front of everybody, whatever's convenient.
okay. And Rob, just one last little thing when it comes to the video days and stuff like that. we've still been communicating most of the stuff via our Kickstarter webpage. Because Twitter, unfortunately, only gives you like this much amount of space to actually say something, and Facebook, not everybody connects through Facebook. So, and I understand why. So,
Thanks,
but,
Les.
I guess that's one thing I got to work with Ty to try and see if I can post that up on the website. Or wherever we do the updates via Kickstarter, via Twitter, Facebook.
Oh, I'm sure.
There's got to be a way to put that there.
Yeah, I'm sure he can do that.
So, I'll work with him on that.
Right.
So, yeah. Thanks, David.
All right, David.
All right, guys.
I get it.
All right. So, yeah, reach out to us via email, Skype us, give us a call, and we'll be here. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
A million thank yous to everybody. Blessings on all of you. And I hope that tomorrow is a great day for you guys.
Yep.
And look forward to showing off some good stuff on the next broadcast.
I agree.
That'd be good.
All right, guys. Have a good night, and we will see you then.
All right.
All right.
Good night.
Good night.